And I'm just gonna double, triple, extra record, set up my view, and then we can get started. All right. So if you could just start, easy, say and spell your first and last name, and then your title as well.
Okay, my name is Adam Frank. That is ADAMFRANK, and I'm a professor of astrophysics at the University of Rochester.
Awesome. So, as you may have known, there are a bunch of UFOs getting sighted everywhere, and people are, freaking out, spurring more sightings everywhere. And there's a lot of rampant misinformation going on. So what we're trying to get from you is just kind of some sound on, oh my God, is there an alien invasion happening? No. What are some practical reasons why this may be happening? So, yeah.
Okay, so what's interesting about this whole event is it really shows you what we mean by UFOs, right? These are things that the military is identifying with their radars because they turned their radars up to be able to find these smaller scale things after the incursion into U.S. airspace of that large Chinese surveillance balloon. So now they're finding more things floating around up there. And, this really sort of points to the whole thing, the whole problem with UFOs over time. They're unidentified flying objects. Now, in this case, what we can tell is that, they are human being stuff that's been put up there. They're floating objects. The Chinese spy satellite was an obvious example of a floating object, but there's amateurs who put things up there, amateur people who are interested in weather. There are universities that do this kind of thing. There are companies that do this kind of thing. So there's a variety of things that are floating that don't have propulsion, that are being blown around by the wind. In some cases, they may be more like airships. They don't necessarily have to, when you think of a balloon of something hanging below it, they may, people may be, using innovative kinds of lighter than air, non-propulsion kinds of devices. And the most important thing is, anybody who tells me that these things are about aliens, my only response can be, these are pretty down on their luck aliens. If they can cross interstellar distances and are able to survive the savages of interstellar space, and then basically they can be taken down by the equivalent of a bottle rocket, right? Any missile we have is for them, basically a firecracker. And you're telling me that that's what's going to drop them out of the sky. So it doesn't make any sense, as often is the case with these kinds of things, but it really points to probably ultimately all of UFOs, even the ones that are the hardest to explain, are going to have a national security explanation, right? What one possibility for some of these things we're seeing, and we're in an argument, is that these are all some kind of surveillance technology, or not even surveillance technology. They are simple technologies, airships that are designed to get us to fire at them, right? Because the enemy learns a lot when we turn on our radars, or when they see what our how we will carry out a mission to take something like this down. There's all kinds of information by just watching us go about the process of firing missiles, and which missiles we fire and how we fire them. So the whole thing could be kind of a head fake to get us to respond in this way. So I think in the end, what it shows you is there's no alien invasion, or if it is, these are really bad, crappy aliens. But that really, this is about mostly about national security.
Perfect. You hit pretty much everything I wanted to ask you. Yeah, like I said, we were just looking for some quick sound from someone who knows what they're talking about. So.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That was awesome. Have a good one.